Now, world-ending gods and entities are very common in both DC and Marvel. So much so that you need something more in the characters in order to have that character not fall under a common trope, that being of a just evil entity that wants to destroy the multiverse. Because if you don't add some sort of juice to the character that isn't just they're evil, they're like a god, you'd sometimes get a character who's very basic, which is somewhat the case with Infinite Man, who is no, not Infinity Man, that is a separate character that Google kept on thinking I wanted to know about. Now, Infinite Man is a villain of the Legion of Superheroes, first appearing all the way back in 1977 in Superboy in Legion of Superheroes issue 233. He is Jaxon Rugarth. Rugarth. A professor of Metropolis in the Legion's time period, that being the 30th century or the 31st century, considering the continuity of what you're reading. He would volunteer to do some science project about time travel. What are they trying to do? I don't know. Under the head scientist of the Sun being of Universo, Vidar. Who is Universo? I have no idea, but apparently it's a part of the Legion of Superheroes. And his son, Vidar, is the head scientist of this project. However, the experiment would go wrong, resulting in Jaxon becoming Infinite Man for reasons, and no longer seems to have any sort of his previous personality, but now is tall, evil, and he wants revenge on Ron for understandable reasons for ruining his life. However, he is also a powerful godlike being, so... Anyways, the Legion, of course, can't let this happen. So the Legion of Superheroes consisting of Superboy, Saturn Girl, Brainiac 5, Colossal Boy, Dream Girl, Lightning Lad, Phantom Girl, Starboy, and Wildfire would prevent Jaxon from killing Ron by straight up trapping him in a time loop for all of eternity. Oh my god. That seems excessive. I mean, yes, I get that he is trying to kill Ron, but he was a normal guy. He just kind of went all haywire after being experimented on. They didn't even think of trying to look for a cure. They straight up just trapped him in a time loop for all of eternity. He wouldn't appear again until 1986, 9 years later in Legion of Superheroes issue 18, a Crisis on Infinite Earths tie-in, where Jaxon would find himself being able to use a small amount of the Anti-Monitor's powers to free himself of this forever time loop. However, he was rendered powerless, converting back to his previous self, proving that there could have possibly been an actual cure. However, now there's a new villain on the loose, called the Time Trapper, starting to create problems for the Legion, so Jaxon steps up, going back to being Infinite Man, sacrificing his life by trapping him and Time Trapper in some sort of prison-type thing outside of time. Time Trapper afterwards would be seen again, making it assumed that Jaxon survived too, which would be confirmed in the 90s when Mordrew, another Legion villain, went out to find him, where he straight up steals his powers. Also proving again, there was a possible cure for him. Regardless, for a long time, this was the end for Infinite Man. He would return until post-Flashpoint in the New 52, where he would appear or a character who is identical to him would appear. The reason why I say that is because he's under a different name now, which is Infidus. I personally think that is a slightly better name than Infinite Man. However, I'm not entirely sure why the name change was done. Was it purposeful or a mistake? This wasn't just United. The villain Bith would try to manipulate a young Infidus, who is now a child in the present day but a villain in the future, by becoming the villain that he will become in the future. This godlike being that will destroy everything. The Legion come back in time to help out the League with everything that is going on, because not only is there Bith, but also a recently resurrected Hawkman who is being mind-controlled by Bith to help him. Also, Adam Strange was replaced by his wife Elena on the team. There was also a Mon-El subplot with him trying to outright murder the child Infidus. There's also a plot about an evil Captain Atom on the moon of Gorilla Grodd in prison. So there was a lot going on in this series. There was also a Poison Ivy arc. However, with Infidus, he would be prevented from ever becoming this villain in the future of Marshall Bandar talking down the kid. It is a pretty decent arc. However, Infidus could have been swapped out for literally anyone, an original character even, and the story wouldn't have changed. In my opinion, the character is not really anything. Whenever he does appear, he's not the main character of the story, as in the main villain. Instead, he's always the side villain. Time Trapper, Mordru, Bith, and they always have really hard pronouncing names. Or they at least are hard for me to pronounce. He is a villain that I think will likely return in some form in the future. However, I don't think it will be any credible appearance. Likely just like how it has been the past few, decades. I was going to say years, but I was like, no, it's been decades. However, I will admit he does have a very, very strong design. In fact, I really like it, even if the character himself is kind of boring. And my microphone straight up died during my outro. Yeah, good thing that didn't happen while I was actually recording the actual video and not just the outro, because I can just add this part in at the end, but that could have been really bad. Like always, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!